Hello, hello.
Oh, good morning. I am calling in from Ferndale, California, which is very northern part of California. Fun fact about Ferndale, it's a tiny, tiny little town. And a lot of the buildings are all like Victorian inspired. So they're beautiful, fun place to walk around. And it's just like one street of downtown. We're having a ball here. But this is where Guy Fieri is from Food Network.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
yeah. So we're like walking in these stores and there's all these of him and different things. And so it's been fun to see the connection and where his roots came from. So it's
Oh,
been,
so cool.
yeah, really cool. Um, we also got to go see the big redwood trees. Wow. If you've never done it, everybody's got to put that on their bucket list. It's really, they're just majestic, beautiful.
Yeah.
So speaking of beautiful, we had a beautiful call this morning. Nice transition, Rhonda, to our masters. With Thanksgiving being tomorrow, everybody's got a lot of different thoughts and feelings that they're going through. And you had a really good prompt for them on the encyclopedia of shoulds. Not that we should all over ourselves. So we've used that a million times, but this is more about our expectations of what we think other people should do or say during the holidays.
And so we encourage them to put one should of, an expectation for another person, put it into the chat. So we could really kind of dissect that because when you have an expectation that somebody else should do or say or be something, right? You're giving all of your power to them to make you feel something. And in reality, you can make yourself feel whatever it is that you're actually going for yourself. You can take that responsibility on. You actually have that kind of self control. And that's ultimately what we teach at Self Made You. We teach people how to take control over any circumstance. And most people think that they're feeling something because of a circumstance. You can choose to think anything you want about a circumstance, a person, a holiday, a meal, a cocktail. You can choose to think whatever you want about that, and you therefore get to choose how you're going to feel about it. So with that awareness around, having expectations for other people and just kind of sitting here in an anticipatory place, you can actually say, you know what, not this year. Not this year. I am actually going to choose to think and feel this about this person, about this event, about this food, about my weight, about my relationships, yada, yada, yada. It works. It's applicable to absolutely everything in your entire life. So it's really fun that we get the at bat to practice these skill sets, and create, opportunities for ourselves to really strengthen our prodigy brain when things like the holidays show up. So yeah, that's what we did in Masters. And then in Self-Made Mind and Body.
We had several different things. With Self Made Mind and Body, we have people coming through at different weeks of the 10-week course. One of the gals is in week 7 and she just took her metabolic assessment. And she was, excuse me, so excited to be able to take her metabolic assessment results to her doctor's appointment because she had a physical that was set up. And because of the metabolic assessment results, the doctor ordered some different and unique tests that she had never had run before. So she's really excited to get those results and see what changes she can make. Another person, it was in week 2, and that was all about the mind math. And she's learning how to use the mind math formula. And she's in the very beginning, and she thinks that she should be able to have just already knocked it out, like checking the box. And you ever so gently explained to her, that's not quite how it works.
Yeah. I think I rally behind like lifelong learners. I like to think of myself as a lifelong learner. But look at the other side of the coin on that. If you think of yourself as a lifelong learner, lifelong means like we're on this treadmill or we're on a track. That's not this like from here to here. Like we want to consistently be optimizing, be learning, be growing. And so you only have an opportunity to do that through the at bats, through the opportunities to practice what it is, to practice the mind math, to understand how your primitive brain sentence that runs through your head is creating your result. Without the at-bats, without the opportunities, without the circumstances, you don't have an opportunity to strengthen those muscles. So it is this ongoing learning. It is very cyclical. And so if you really challenge yourself to not think about it as a finish line or in kind of a black and white way of thinking, it could be like, you know, what if I never feel like I've crossed that line of being proficient at the mind math? Like, consider that. What if that never actually happens? What if I'm never deemed like the master of the mind math? What if I'm always in this constant state of learning, of optimizing, of practicing? What does that feel like? What does that thought feel like? Because that's who I think is our audience. That's who I think our students are. And so if you are really like trying to be something that maybe this program isn't set up for you to be, you're really pushing against something that you can't control. And so I would challenge you to think differently about that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really good learning experience for all of us that were in the call. I thought it was great. And then we also just gave a few little tips on Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow. I can't even believe it. Just little tweaks and, food tips that we gave them on what to do, and also some tips on how to kind of manage your thoughts around the holiday. So it was definitely 2 really good, rich classes today.
All right, you got to give the best tip. What was the best one?
Well, what I thought of what we had all talked about.
Any of it, just a tip for navigating the holiday tomorrow, Thanksgiving.
Okay, so food-wise, just little tweaks, like use sweetener instead of sugar in some of your recipes. The best tip that I love that you offered up was when you're done eating, immediately get up and go out for a walk. It helps get rid of that lethargic feeling after really eating so much food. Slow down, enjoy the conversation more than you're putting your face in a plate of food. It's about the people that you're around and the experience.
Yeah. And here's another one. No matter what the circumstance is, I highly recommend making a plan. When your intelligence, when your logic is high, then emotions are low. If you wait to make a plan, quote unquote, a plan, when the emotions get high, it's not going to be as effective. So today, prior to the holidays, make a plan for how you want tomorrow to go in regards to the relationships, in regards to the food that you're going to be eating, in regards to the prep, in regards to the cleanup, in regards to all of the shoulds that you have for other people. Make a plan right now. Take 5 minutes to decide how you want the day to unfold. Okay? And if that looks like having 3 pieces of pumpkin pie and 4th piece of pecan for good measure, you've made a plan. You made a decision. I'm assuming you like your reasons for making that decision, and you don't have to go to bed with regret because you actually made a plan ahead of time using your Prodigy brain. You actually used logic. You weren't using emotions, right? You weren't using dramatic thoughts. You can go to bed, lay your head on that pillow and be like, I actually stayed committed to the plan that I created for myself. Done. So that's
Perfect.
the hot tip of the day. All right. We will see you guys next time. Happy Thanksgiving for all of you who celebrate. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week.